He's getting older.
Got AIDS.
Oh, hit the full button.
But not wiser. This is the Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Lefty Show, episode number, God damn it, I forgot to check again. I want to say 27. Yes, 27. Haha, I got it right. I remembered properly. Welcome, everybody, to the Lefty Show, episode number 27. I'm your host, Lefty. Glad to be here with all of you today, which is the 2nd of June, Monday, in the year of our spaghetti monster, 2014. We are officially into June. It's summer, baby. Woo! There's got the windows to the studio open. Nice breeze caressing me as I sit here in front of a microphone, my underwear. I'm just kidding, not my underwear. Well, maybe. It is getting pretty hot around these parts. And, electricity is expensive. So air conditioning, might not want to run it all the time. Sometimes I sit around. Anyway, welcome everybody to the Lefty Show. Glad to be here. Hope to put on a good show for you today. Getting started a little late. Anyway, let's get through the propers before we start riffing on stuff. Thank you to everybody for listening, liking, favoriting, and subscribing on YouTube, helping the channel and the show grow its presence everywhere. Thank you to everybody that has been and will be sharing the show with your friends, family, and coworkers, anybody you know they're getting into podcasting. Like, hey, what's a good podcast to listen to? You say, hey, man, Lefty Show. Lefty Show is where it's at. Thank you to everybody that's been donating. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. There is a link in the description. Once again, I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. Help out the Lefty Show. Help out Lefty. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. I thank you, all of you, for doing that and for helping keep the show afloat. Thank you to everybody out there. So let's see what's been going on. Summer, nice and hot. At some point, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and turn on the air conditioning, but it's gonna be expensive. But we'll see. hopefully not that expensive. Uploading right now, actually, the first of a brand new batch of PKA plays. Sorry, I'm getting this out to you a little late. The Blackhawks played last night, and I went out and watched the game. Game 7, they lost at the United Center to the LA Kings, and had to drown my sorrows a little bit. No more hockey. I was hoping to see the Blackhawks in the Cup Series, perhaps not hoisting the cup again, but I was hoping to see them, hoping for more hockey in which I was personally vested. Not even personally vested, because I'm not one of those people that's like we, us thing when talking about sports teams. It's they, right? I mean, I watch and I enjoy, but I'm not going to pretend that I have fuck all anything to do with the Blackhawks winning or losing or even having money to spend on. I mean, I watch the games, right? And I watch the advertisements, and they're able to sell TV contracts based on me watching, theoretically, right? That's how it's supposed to go. And a lot of people use that as a springboard to say, well, see, man, I'm part of the team. Or I'm buying tickets. I'm a season ticket holder. I say we, us, this or that. And it's like, I get the logic behind it, but I totally understand the logic behind I'm a fan of this. Not only am I a fan of this team, but I am spending my hard-earned dollars on this team, and I wish to see them do well. Some sports radio guys give hardcore fans shit, laugh at them, and again, while that can be funny in certain senses, it's like, well, hold on a damn minute. It's like, why are you taking it so seriously? It's because, ticket prices going to a game in most areas is pretty expensive, especially here in Chicago. If you want to go see one of the professional sports teams here in Chicago, even the fucking lowly White Sox, if you want to go to a White Sox game, probably the cheapest ticket in town. I'm going to forget that the Sky exists for a second because everybody else forgets that the WNBA exists, even the NBA teams that are forced to prop them up with money. If you want to go see a White Sox game, what is it, $25 for parking now? $25 to park your car. Let's say you get a $20 ticket on the secondary market, right? So that's $45 right there. You want to have a beer? That's another $8. So now you're at, what, 50 some odd bucks? Pretty soon, You going to this game alone or bringing friends or bringing family, it's a couple $100 for one day of entertainment. Not even a day. It's a couple hours of entertainment. A couple $100. You go to a movie, right? You bring your family to a movie. You bring your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, to a movie. Well, how much does that cost? Total, $50. When you get even if you go see the more expensive IMAX 3D experience, whatever, real 3D, apparently, I guess, whatever that means, you go pay for the more expensive stuff. So $15 a pop, whatever. And you get popcorn and jujubes and soda and all that stuff. You spend $50, $60 for 2 hours of entertainment. You end up spending a couple $100 to go see the cheapest ticket in town, in a town like Chicago, for 3 hours. It's just, bad. Not, it's a lot of money to some people, to many people, especially the middle class is disappearing, and there are many people qualified to work jobs, overqualified to work many jobs, who have just thrown up their hands and say, I quit. It's an I quit match, and they lost because they're giving up on searching for a job. They say, fuck it. I'd rather not have a job than go try to flip burgers. Being an overqualified burger flipper. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a greeter at fucking Walmart. Like I was a welder for 15 years. I was union. Now I can't get a job. Nobody's building anymore. Well, people are building, but you get the idea. And so the entertainment dollar, it's a really inefficient entertainment experience to go to a professional sports game. I'm assuming in other cities around the United States and even across the pond, going to see a professional soccer match is probably pretty damn expensive. Maybe it's not, I guess. I don't know pricing over there. But here in America, it's a pretty expensive prospect. And what's more, inefficient for how much you spend versus the entertainment value. The amount of entertainment you get and the length of that entertainment, how long you talk about a ball game you went to see. I had a buddy who had tickets for Mark Burley's perfect game. That's a 1 in a million shot where you spend however much you spend on that day and you get a memory and something to talk about for the rest of your life. He was there to watch Mark Burley pitch his perfect game. Not the no-hitter, a perfect game. And I could have gone to that game, but I had to go golfing with a girlfriend at the time and her dad. Fucking bitch. I could have gone to see Mark. I could have been a contender. But that's like what, 1 in a million shot? You go to a regular ball game mid-season, dog days of summer, and it's just like, okay, 3-2, they won. Whoop-de-fucking-do. And it's a really inefficient and expensive entertainment experience. And so you're going to be interested in the team, interested in the sport that you just spent a lot of money on. You're going to say, man, I want to talk about those White Sox because I just spent $200 for 3 hours of entertainment. I want to talk about those Cubs because I spent $500 today getting drunk in the bleachers to watch a piece of shit team. I spent, whatever. I don't even want to know what it costs to go to a Bears game. So you're going to want to talk about it, and you're going to be interested in it, and you're going to be pissed if they suck because your entertainment is derived mostly from the team winning and not losing, the team conquering and not being conquered. And so from that, I understand that it's really easy and even logical to start using pronouns like we, us. We are going to spend this money on a free agent. They're winning over us in this series, et cetera, et cetera. But, at the end of the day, you're not a member of the White Sox organization. You're not a member of the Bulls front office or the coaching staff. You're not on the Blackhawks payroll. There is no we. Your vesting interest in the sport, in the team, in the club is born from your decision. You decided to go spend that money and get yourself all wrapped up in this team. But it seems silly to me to start saying we when the Blackhawks don't give a fuck about you. They don't care. If you get pissed off because the Chicago Cubs suck and have sucked for a long time, And, the definition of suck here is not even being close to winning a World Series for a century. No, they were actually pretty close a few times. But still, the point is, if you're mad that the team sucks or still sucks, you're going to start saying silly things and using making the team's success personal is done by saying we. To me, when I hear somebody who says we, who says us, who uses all those buzz terms, I can't help but think that they've made that sport personal. They've made the success or lack of success for that team personal. And there's a whole lot of other things that you probably should be personally wrapped up in, emotionally wrapped up in, than whether the Chicago Cubs suck. Because you get to a point, I think, it's not just the sheer silliness of saying we. That's not my problem. My thinking is that's not how it is. But my thinking is that you open yourself up to caring about things and tying yourself emotionally to a professional sports organization when you think that you and the organization are one and the same. And some people may say, well, I say we, but I don't think that. But you do, because the Blackhawks lost last night. And okay, that sucks. I wanted to see more hockey, but I guess I'm not going to now. All right. You got to do the Lefty show tomorrow. Got to go to sleep. But when you start thinking we, us, together, you're going to have a bad day when that team doesn't perform. You're going to have a good day when the team performs well, but you're going to have a bad day when the team doesn't perform. And it just seems like not a good idea to tie yourself emotionally to a professional sports team. Tie yourself emotionally to something else, to a loved one, or to pride in your work, or I don't know, something at home. But to tie yourself emotionally to somebody who has no fucking clue and not a care in the world who you are or what you think or how much money you've spent on their product, it seems silly, because you're not going to get any actual reward from that relationship. That relationship is nothing but take. They take from you and give you very little. And you would probably be better off, I think, even just without even knowing it, tying yourself emotionally to other things. So the Blackhawks lost. That's my long-winded way of saying the Blackhawks lost, I guess. It's okay, though. It's okay, because, the White Sox and Cubs suck, but organized team activities are starting for the Bears. Jay Cutler, Mr. Don't Care. Mr. Don't Care Jay Cutler is going to be bringing the Chicago Bears to prominence. I'm saying that with confidence. I'm just kidding. No confidence whatsoever. All right, let's do a little Would You Rather before we get into the news. I keep promising it, and I keep forgetting in the course of the monologue news stuff to talk about it or to get into it. So this is Would You Rather from YouRather.com, your source for all your Would You Rather needs. Oh, just a bit outside. Vaughn tried the corner and missed. Would you rather be an 80s child star actor or a 60s one-hit wonder? Well, this is easy for me. I'd rather be an 80s child star actor, and here's why, right? First of all, I'm not as close to death as a 60s one-hit wonder is right now. I'm assuming right now, because, or I guess, would you rather be a child star in the 80s or a one-hit wonder in the 60s? Ooh, now that I'm thinking about it, that just totally changed. Totally flipped the script on me. Brain, what's that all about? Now, I guess I'll answer it both ways. Got both kinds, country and western. In the moment, would I rather be an 80s child star actor or a 60s one-hit wonder? The answer is a 60s one-hit wonder, because odds are I'm going to be of age to control my own money. I'm going to have a lot of money in a short period of time, same as with the 80s child star actor, but I'm going to have control of it. When I'm 12 years old or 10 years old or whatever, and I'm on a show in the 80s, I'm making good money. You make good money working TV, especially if your show gets picked up, it gets syndicated, whatever. You know, you got home video deals back in the day, Betamax. That was before Betamax fell out of favor. And you've got all these things, so you're making money, probably even more money than a 60s one-hit wonder, but you don't have access to it. You got nothing. Your parents control it, or a lawyer controls it. A studio-appointed lawyer or a studio-hired lawyer or executor of your estate or something controls that money. You don't have it. So, you know, being a child with a lot of money is a lot of personal cash. Money tied to your name is probably the same as just being a normal child. There's probably very little difference because you're not out getting blow and hookers when you're in it. Maybe you are. Maybe you're that kind of baller 80s child star. But odds are that somebody else is going to control your money. So you don't have hookers and blow money. There's no hookers and blow money for you if you're an 80s child star. However, there are groupies, but you know, you don't know what sex is. You're not, you know, little girls or little boys, whatever, adore you. Absolutely adore you. But none of you know what to do. You're not like, hey, let's, you know, get some blow and do this thing. You have no idea what you're doing. It's like, oh, well, I'll sign autographs, etc. But, you know, I'm not taking you back to the hotel room, you know, for a little ground and pound action and then kicking you out the door because I don't even know what ground and pound is. I'm a child. What the fuck? I want to go play with blocks or do whatever children do, even if they have a lot of money. But if you're a 60s one-hit wonder, you've got a lot of money for a while. I mean, it's not going to last forever. But you've got control of it. You've got access to the bank accounts. You know what cash is and how money works and how hookers and blow works. You know how that works. So you're living the life. Well, in the 60s, it might be heroin or something, or maybe LSD. But if you're a one-hit wonder in the 60s, you are on top of the frickin' world. You've got so much fucking money because if you're a one-hit wonder, you've gone from nothing to prominence. You're going to go back to nothing real soon. But in that time where you are on top, you're king of the world. You are absolutely king of the world.
King of the world, baby. King of the world.
That's you. You're on top. You've got it. You're made. You're made and paid in the shade. It's going to run out. It's going to go away. But for that, shit, 6 months, a year maybe, you've got so much fucking money. Everybody's calling you up. Everybody wants to do something with you. You are talking to everybody. Now, it will all go away, and the only thing you will have is the royalty checks as you age from that one hit. From that one-hit wonder that you had, you know, The Wonders. What a great movie. But all you have to do is live off those residual checks, which probably is not a bad income. If you're, you know, from the baby boomer age, you're a one-hit wonder in the 60s, you're probably making a decent amount of cash from royalties on your song. Not, you know, you're not baller like you were in the 60s where you had hookers and blow every night, but you got a little cash. You don't have to do a lot. You can go do almost whatever you want. You're not living in luxury, but you're not living in, you know, poverty and worrying where your next meal is coming from. You got a couple grand a month, maybe more from royalties on your one hit wonder, because for 50 years, there's a whole generation of people that heard your hit, that loved it, and will continue to play it over and over and over and over again. You'll get a little money. Now, for the question of what would I be now? Would I rather be what was, in the year 2014, would I rather be an 80s child actor, a former child star in the 80s, or a 60s one-hit wonder? In that sense, fast forward to the year 2014, I want to be an 80s child actor because I'm, probably mid-30s, 40 maybe, height of my earning power. I've had I've had money since I was a little child. Maybe I've blown it already, who knows? But I got my foot in the door, probably getting an acting gig here and there. I'm not a regular, I'm not a star, but pick up a couple checks, couple grand, $10,000 a month, acting gigs here and there, cameo spot, whatever. And I'm 40 years old, mid-30s maybe. I'll settle for mid-30s. And I've probably been dealing with agents and businessmen my entire life, so I've probably got a good head on my shoulders for a business sense. Or maybe I just have a huge coke problem. Who knows? But either way, I've got that money now. That money is mine, and I've got business sense. And there's a DVD deal coming up or a Blu-ray. All the series I was on is being remastered in blue, or the movie deals that I got when I was a child star, all the movie deals born from my work as a child star, they're all still making me a ton of money, and I'm 40 years old. If I'm a 60s one-hit wonder, what am I, 75? I'm nearing the end. It's over. You know, hookers and blow, or hookers and LSD or heroin was more than 50 years ago. Am I still, I'm living off the residuals, but those people that are, creating the opportunity for those royalties are dying off too. And I'm next. No more hookers, no more blow. Hopefully got over my coke problem. And I'm on the Vista cruise of life, and no, it's not appealing. I want to be an 80s child star, 40 years old, remastered stuff coming, still earning, Michael J. Fox, minus the Parkinson's. Minus the Parkinson's, Michael J. Fox would be what I am. He shows up here and there making a good living. Back to the Future and Family Ties, I believe it was, still making him tons of money. Tons of money. He just shows up as fucking Marty McFly wherever you go. You got the checkered shirt, the jeans, and the life vest thing. You put that shit on, and you're golden. You show up anywhere, charge $10,000 a party, show up as Marty McFly. You're 40 years old. How fantastic would that be? 35 years old, still playing Marty McFly. Like, hey, man, woo, $10,000, 10 G's. All right, all these ladies, all these girls that grew up watching me on TV and watching my movies are now of age to get down for a little ground and pound. So, in today's day and age, 2014, 80s child star. Would you rather wear the same thing every day or never wear the same clothes twice? Wear the same thing every day. I like looking good. I like clothes. Nice clothes even. But it may have a bit of a fashion sense, I suppose. But there are times where it's just, what the fuck do I do? I'm not on camera a lot, really. I mean, all I have to do is look good from mid-chest up, so I wear a nice shirt and a watch, and I do my hair. All right. I don't have to fucking, I don't have to be dressed all the time, dressed to the nines. Like right now, sitting in my underwear doing this damn show. And it's fantastic. It's glorious. Feel the breeze on the parts down there, and it's keeping me cool. Nice little heat exchange action going on. And I don't need to worry, and I don't want to worry about clothes. This is whatever. Yeah, I'll just put it on. Black T-shirt and whatever. I'm fine with that. Not a Steve Jobs sense of like, ooh, look at me brooding. Look at how genius I am. It's just I don't want to. Okay, I would rather not worry about clothes than have to worry every single day, because when you have a life where you can never ever wear the same clothes twice, you've got to, I'm assuming that all the wardrobe is paid for, right? Because obviously if we're talking like you got to buy the clothes, well then fuck that. I'm going to Walmart or Sam's Club or something and getting like 500, getting a pallet of t-shirts that I like, all in the same color, style, whatever, and that's mine. That's my wardrobe for, a couple years. But in a life where you can never wear the same thing twice, your whole day is wrapped up. Every single day you've got to make a huge decision. You've got to remember what you wore yesterday and make sure that it's never in the rotation ever, ever, ever again. And you've got to find what works. And pretty soon you're going to run out of clothes. How many button-down shirts are there? How many style T-shirts are there really? You can get a sports team T-shirt, but that's done. Once you get a Blackhawks T-shirt, that's it. No more Blackhawks T-shirts. Shit. White button-down dress shirt. Well, no more white button-down dress shirt ever. Pretty soon, you're going to run out of shit to wear. And you're going to have to find some creative solutions to your wardrobe. And that's just a life that I don't want to live. Don't want to live it. Would you rather smell like manure or smell like urine? Now, here's the deal. Manure has a smell. Manure is just manure. There's only a volume, like the volume of manure. The music never changes. It's just like the pitch and the bass and all that stuff never ever changes. It's just the volume. It's just how loud it is to your sense of smell. Manure is manure. There's no like, oh, that thing was eating a lot of corn, or that's a grasslands diet right there. No, it's just shit. It's animal shit, and it smells like it smells. All that matters is how freaking loud it is to your sense of smell. Piss, on the other hand, or excuse me, urine, has a few different varieties. Sometimes if you get asparagus piss, or if you're a little bit dehydrated, that's not a good smell. That's an awful smell. It's just bad. However, if you're well hydrated, your kidneys are pumping out all the toxins and shit or whatever urine's supposed to do, and it's clear, there's no smell to that. Or very, 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 very little. So if I get to pick, I would say smell like urine, so long as I get to pick which brand of urine I smell like. Because I would say, all right, well, then I'm going to pick the very well-hydrated runner's urine as opposed to the alcoholic who's, dehydrated on his last internal stores of water and he's going to crash in a couple days and just been eating shit all the time. That urine? No. If I get to pick, I'm going runner's urine or sports drink urine, a whole lot of water, because it doesn't really smell all that bad. Not a lot of particulate in there. Because manure, you can't disguise manure. It just smells. You're not like, oh man, this is the good smelling manure. There's no good smelling manure. There's not even a close to neutral smelling manure. It's just an offensive smell. It's just offensive. That's all it is. All that matters is the degree of the offense. So I would rather smell like piss. Let's wrap up Would you rather with, would you rather have to end every sentence with a racial epithet or have to drop 2 F-bombs in every sentence? I'd rather say fuck. I love saying fuck. Fuck is a fantastic word. Fuck, fuckity fuck. It's so great. It's, let's say this. Racial epithets, when you start hurling around racial slurs, it's a gamble. It is a fucking gamble whether you're going to, what reaction you're going to get. You're dropping N-bombs at people, not even hanging hard R's on it. If it's just a soft A on your N-bomb, you don't know what reaction you're going to get. You might get no reaction. You might get, oh, yeah, okay. Either like the other person or whomever you're speaking might not pick up on it. Or you'll get the, what? What did you say? What did you just say that? Which is manageable because you'd be like, yeah, whatever, my nigga. What's up, my nigga? You might get that reaction. Or you might get the holy fucking shit, it's go time now, because I'm one of those people that responds to racial epithets in that way. You don't know. You might hit the guy who's ready to throw down as soon as you drop an N-bomb. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I suppose. I mean, if he fails to even consider context, I might have to question that. But, fucking, you just start hurling around slurs like that. It's like, whoa, all right. You're taking your life into your own hands. You're rolling dice every time you throw it because you don't know how people are going to react. Fuck, on the other hand, the reactions aren't as volatile, right? Hi, hey, how's it going? Nah, I got a fucking headache. Is somebody going to punch you in the face for that? If you walk around, I got a headache, nigga. They're going to punch you in the... There's a definite chance you're going to get punched in the square in the jaw. But if you're... How do you feeling? I got a fucking headache. It's like, fuck, I got a fucking headache. Right? Somebody might say, whoa, chill out there, man. You might, you just take it easy with the F-bombs. But nobody's going to punch you in the face for saying fuck. Usually. And you can control the way in which you use the word fuck so that you don't use it in a way that might get you punched in the face. And what's more, I've got a little theory about the word fuck. Passed down from my dad, I'm going to pass it down on to you. And I think it's true. I think it's definitely true in of human interactions. Fuck, the word fuck. And not it's non-hostile variance, right? Because if you say fuck, but you say fuck you, well, that's hostile. You know, or I'm going to fuck your old lady, hostile. But if you say fuck, man, or fucking this or fucking that, fuck in its non-hostile usage is a universal icebreaker with humans. If you are talking to somebody, and it goes both ways. If you use the word fuck, again, in a non-hostile way, and they don't stop you, they're not like, whoa, hey there, slow it down, take it easy. But if you say, fucking thing broke, and I just said fuck it, and they go, yep, fuck it, that's a cool dude or a cool lady, right? You've made a connection with that person. You've broken down a social barrier there. You know, you have that conversation with somebody when you meet somebody new and you're having a conversation. When you meet somebody new and you're having a conversation about, you know, something, or you're trying to feel them out. You're trying to, you know, okay, all right, what's this person all about? What's this person doing? What's their story? What do they like? What do they not like? Et cetera, et cetera. But if you get to a point where you can say fuck and they don't scoff at it and they say, yep. You've got a pal. You've got somebody where you're past that stage in the conversation. When you say fucking thing is all fucked up and they say, oh, really? Let me take a look at it. You go, okay, all right, now I know how I can, at least one level that I can speak to this person on and communicate and let them know exactly using those, shall we say, colorful terms, how I feel. The best, though, that's not the best part. The best one is when you can elicit the use of the word fuck from them. Because you've always got that fuck in your back pocket that you can drop in the conversation. In some sentence, you can drop fuck this, fuck that, fucking thing, whatever, right? Again, non-hostile. But if the other person, who heretofore did not know that you were looking to drop a fuck to gauge their reaction, if they drop an unsolicited fuck, you've got a best friend. You've probably got somebody who you want to have a beer with and hang out with. If that person, you know, if you're talking to somebody new, you said, hey, what's about that weather? It's like, these fucking thunderstorms, man. It's fucking awful. Go, all right. Yeah, fuck that thunderstorm, right? Yeah, fuck it. You go, all right, yeah. Now let's talk what we're really talking about. If you're working with a salesman, the best part is that I can think of as a sales setting. You're buying a car, you're negotiating the price on a house, or some other relatively big ticket item, or you want some special help at a retail store. You're talking, if you can get it from a manager, that's the best. If you're talking to a manager at a retail store or about some service or something, and not hostile. You don't say fuck you and fuck your service. But if you say, the thing was broken, I bought it, I didn't know it was broken. I got it, and it didn't work. It was broken. I tried to bring it back, and they said that, because it was sold by some other salesman, I can't return it, etc. You're not going to offer me anything on it. And I just, I get it, but it's on some level, what the fuck? And if the saleswoman or salesperson or representative or manager says, yeah, I know, okay, I'll help you out. If they don't scoff at the fuck. If you're buying a car and you're like, I've got this car, it's a fucking piece of shit. Or I was trying to buy a car from somebody else and it was a fucking nightmare. And they go, yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen with us, sir. You know, whatever. You'll get a great price, great deal. You'll be happy. If they don't, if in a sales setting, a business setting, if you can drop a fuck and they don't respond, or if they even join in, and again, the best still remains. If you're trying to say that what an arduous process this whole thing is, I got to get a new roof and it's awful. It's going to cost me so much money. And, you know, this thing, an old friend came in from out of town, and you're telling all this tale of woe to the guy who wants to put a new roof on your house. And the guy looks at you and says, man, that's fucking awful. All right. You know, I'll give you $1,500 off the new roof. Or I'll throw in the 45-year shingles or whatever, the 35-year warranty. I'll throw that'll be the product now instead of the 25-year. You go, all right, there we fucking go. You made some progress. If you can elicit a fuck from somebody or use fuck in a conversation, again, not a hostile way, you've broken down a social barrier and you've probably reached a new level with that person that otherwise would take you a long time. Otherwise, in the social dance, you know, in the dance that we all do in conversations with people that we meet, that would take a long time. But if you can say fuck or they say fuck and none of you care about the use of the word fuck, you've broken the ice and you can get down to brass tacks about whatever it is you want to do. So you ask me, would I rather have to end every sentence with a racial epithet or have to drop 2 F-bombs every single sentence? I would definitely rather drop 2 F-bombs because there's so many different ways you can go with it. All right, let's do a little news, shall we? My apologies that I was dealing with a little emergency here in the studio as the soundbite played. My water was there was condensation on it. It was dripping all over near my monitor and phone and stuff. And I was like, oh shit, oh my god. So anyway, welcome to the news, Lefty. We're going to talk a lot about today. The New Jersey baker. Sorry I didn't get to. New Jersey diocese is arguing that a priest wasn't acting in official church duties when he was diddling a little boy, and a few other things at the news with Lefty. All right, so I wanted to get to this story Saturday. It was because I don't do shows on Sundays. Maybe I should start that. If PK is uploaded on Saturday, maybe I should take Saturday off and do Sunday shows instead. I don't know. That's a programming question. Issue of programming. But this is from the local Denver CBS website, and I'm going to try to get through this story first so I can close out the goddamn CBS website. It just refreshed again so it can load a new banner ad or a new sidebar ad. Fuck you, CBS, and your webmasters. This is in 2012, I believe, or no, maybe it was 2013. There was a Denver bakery that refused to have commissioned a wedding cake for a homosexual couple. This is Dateline Denver. The owner of a bakery in Lakewood said he will no longer sell wedding cakes after the Colorado Civil Rights Commission ruled he did discriminate against a gay couple when he refused to sell them a cake. Jack Phillips owns Masterpiece Cake Shop. In 2012, David Mullins and Charlie Craig, come on, you've got 2 first names, man. You're like Billy Bob. Pick one. Anyway, Charlie Craig went to the shop to order a cake for their upcoming wedding reception. They plan to marry in Massachusetts and have a reception in Colorado. Phillips said he doesn't believe in gay marriage, and he refused to sell them a cake. Quote, "We would close down the bakery before we would complicate our beliefs," Phillips said after the hearing. Phillips also admitted he had refused service to other same-sex couples. A judge previously ruled a business owner cannot refuse service to a customer on the basis of sexual orientation. Phillips appealed to the commission, but it upheld the decision. That prompted Phillips to decide he would no longer make any wedding cakes. He said he would be fine selling cupcakes for a birthday party for someone who is gay, but added, "I don't want to participate in a same-sex wedding." So, as a more, I guess, socially progressive liberal, I don't even know if that's like a thing, but as more of a social liberal, I guess, you would expect me to come down on, against this baker guy and say, "Hey man, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, you're refusing service to somebody based on their sexual orientation. That's wrong. And that's true. You know, that would be wrong. If I was Baker Square or McDonald's or something, if I'm any shop, a franchise supermarket, and I'm selling ready-to-go cakes that are just a simple commodity at that, just a simple good, and it says, look, man, I got this cookie cake, you know, congratulations, Craig and Dave, or whatever the fuck. And I refuse service based on their sexual orientation, that would be on me, because it's akin to saying I'm not selling you cookies, Nabisco cookies, because you're gay or whatever, based on their race, their sexual orientation, their gender, whatever. Any kind of discrimination in terms of simple goods, that my sale and the existence of my business has nothing to do with my beliefs. Me selling you cabbage has nothing to do with what fictional fucking God I pray to, or whatever that spaghetti monster has to say. It has nothing to do with it. However, I applaud this guy. I actually applaud the baker in Colorado, because this isn't just some guy working at a, you know, one of the guy that takes that really good, oh my God, it's so good, that sugar frosting and writes things in shitty cursive on cookie cakes for Memorial Day, 4th of July, a birthday, whatever. Oh my God, those $8 cookie cakes are so good, or whatever, how much they cost. I don't give a shit. They're so amazing. Now I want one. Damn it. Anyway, Jack Phillips, that's not what he is. He owns Masterpiece Cake Shop, okay? Now, there's a picture of him. It's actually a video, but I'm not going to click on it. A video of him working on a cake, and it's not a ready-to-go cake. He's making that, it's not fondant, where you get sugar and you create like a sheet from it and lay it over the cake, and it tastes awful. And you put it over the cake and then put frosting. He's got little, you know, rosebuds made out of frosting, it looks like. This is an artistic form of baking. It's not simply the cakes this dude makes for weddings and whatnot are not simply about the good. It's about a form of expression. It's almost like an art, like a painting. Now, what has essentially happened here is that the state of Colorado is saying, you, as somebody who expresses themselves artistically through the form of these cakes, has to suspend your beliefs. Your beliefs cannot at all play a part in how you express yourself via art. And again, while I am for the idea of, if you're backwards and you want to refuse service to people or products based on their gender, their race, their religious beliefs, their sexual orientation, anything, the color of their fucking pupils, whatever, if you want to discriminate based on that, you're backwards and an asshole. And it's that simple. However, think about this. What if you're an artist, right? Let's say you're an artist. And two gay guys come in, or gay people, whatever. Doesn't have to be guys. And they say, look, we want to commission a painting from you. We are going to pay you money to paint something. We want you to make us a painting. Not a painting you have on the wall, not one that's pre-made. We want you, under our direction, to express yourself artistically about this subject matter, whatever it is. And it just refreshed. And so, fuck you, CBS. The page just refreshed. I didn't touch a damn thing. The whole page just refreshed. Fuck you, CBS. Anyway, we want to commission a painting from you about some subject matter. And you say, okay, all right, what's the subject matter? Well, I'm going to be dressed up in a rubber gimp suit and fucking my boyfriend here with a dildo, with a big rubber dildo, a big spiked dildo. I'm going to be fucking him in the ass. And we want you to paint that. And I might vomit on him. Not sure yet. Have to decide whether to vomit on him while I'm fucking him in the ass with a gigantic spiked dildo while I'm dressed like a gimp. He's gonna have a ball gag in his mouth. We want you to paint that. Will you do it? And you say, no, I find that fucking disgusting. What the state of Colorado has argued here, essentially, is that you are discriminating, and that's wrong. You cannot find that offensive. You have to express yourself if others dictate you to. You can't decide, no, that is fucking disgusting, and I don't want to paint that. We want you to paint the autopsy of our grandma. Our grandma died under suspicious circumstances. We don't know. Maybe she fell. Maybe she OD'd. We're going to have an autopsy done, but we want to remember Nana. We want to remember Meemaw. So we want you to come in there with your easel and everything, and we want you to paint her autopsy. And you say, no, personally, I find that fucking disgusting. I don't want to do it. I don't want to have any part in painting and expressing myself artistically about your fucking dead Meemaw, your dead grandmother, or your fucking disgusting sexual acts, which I find personally to be fucking disgusting. I don't want to do it. State of Colorado and this fucking commission has said, no, you've got to do it. You've got to do it, or you're discriminating, and you're liable to be sued by these people. Because, again, this is not some guy with ready-made cakes out the door. These people wanted a commission cake. Said, we want you to make us a special cake. For what? Oh, for our gay wedding. This man who has been consistent in his beliefs and how he acts on it said, no, I don't want to perpetuate that. I personally find that offensive. I don't want anything to do with it. And the state of Colorado is saying, you have to. And so everybody, again, there was rejoicing at Donald Sterling, is probably rejoicing at this. The evil bigot got his comeuppance, and now he's taking his toys home, wah, wah, wah. But what you're really celebrating is thought policing. Again, we're celebrating thought policing. If this was a guy that's selling canned fucking cakes or something, this would be different. But this is a guy who expresses himself, however silly, saying I'm an artiste when it comes to baking, however silly that may appear to you, this guy actually expresses himself subjectively through the way he makes cakes. And what you are essentially celebrating, and what the state of Colorado is rejoicing is that, or rejoicing in, is the state saying your personal beliefs should not play a part in how you express yourself. And you are wrong morally and legally for not wanting to express yourself about something you find personally disgusting. Now, again, backwards, say, I don't want to, gay marriage is wrong, blah, blah, blah. The guy's a backwards asshole. We're not going to compromise our, but kiss my black ass. All right? Go shove your Bible up your ass along with the spiked dildo, you fucking asshole. Go bake your cakes. Right? Okay, he's an asshole. But he has a right to be an asshole. He has a right to be backwards. And what's more, I think you should have the right to not have to express yourself about things you find disgusting. If you find, again, you're not working at a diner, you're not making dinner for these people, you are expressing yourself artistically in some way. Your cakes, this guy could make a cake however offensive, and if the state tried to ban his offensive cakes, odds are the Supreme Court, whether in Colorado or the United States of America, would say that is protected speech. Your cakes, your masterpiece cakes, are an expression of you. They are an embodiment of your First Amendment right. That is protected speech. Odds are. Maybe not. But I would guess that's how it would go. And the state of Colorado now has said, no, you have to express yourself how these people want you to. And I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with gay marriage. I don't have a problem with shaming people that are so public about their backwardness. You listeners to this show know I don't have a problem with that. But when you start saying you have no right to express yourself, or in this case, not express yourself, I got a problem with that. That could lead, and probably will, to a whole bunch of silly and dangerous things. The precedent itself, the idea that you don't have the freedom to express yourself, and non-expression is a form of expression. You don't have the idea to express yourself. in certain ways. You cannot, if a gay couple, if you are an artist, if if I've got a radio show and two gay guys come up to me and say, well, we want you to, I don't know, we want to pay you to talk about our gay wedding or something, and I say, or we want to pay you to talk about or have a bit. We want to sponsor, some fucking latex infused sexual bit, and I say no. Apparently, I'm discriminating. I mean, I'll you can sponsor the show, but if you come to me and say we want to sponsor it, and we sell sex tapes of us fucking each other with spiked dildos and vomiting in each other's mouths, and I say, well, that's kind of fucked up. I don't want any part of that. I'm apparently discriminating. All right. What else then is discrimination? What now can we say now that this guy in Colorado is apparently wrong for not wanting to express himself on the topic of gay marriage or a homosexual couple? What else can people say or not say? And what else is some form of illegal expression? In atheist news out of Virginia, a court-appointed officiant told us we had no right to get married. This is from rawstory.com. A court-appointed, this is key, okay? A court-appointed official in Virginia refused to perform a wedding ceremony for a couple because they don't believe in God. Now, this might seem completely contradictory to the stance I just took about a story. But here's the deal. This couple went to a court in Virginia, an atheist couple went to a court in Virginia and said, please tell us, give us a civil servant, somebody who works for the state of Virginia, give us somebody who will officiate our marriage. Call pass interference and offsides, all that kind of stuff. Give us somebody or tell us who will perform a marriage. Give us a civil servant. And here we have somebody who works for the state of Virginia saying, they got through the whole, oh, you want to get married? Where do you want to get married? Well, we, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, how about we do it at our church? It's a nice place, etc. They said, okay. Then it got to the point where they had agreed on price, they'd agreed on date, they'd agreed on venue, and then the guy said, the pastor said, all right, well, what religious denomination are you? What service am I performing? Is it going to be a Baptist wedding or a Jewish wedding? Something? What am I going to perform? I don't know. Tell me. Let me know. And they said, well, I'm agnostic. My wife, soon-to-be wife, is agnostic, and I'm an atheist. He said, no. I am refusing to perform your wedding. Here we have a state employee, an employee of the government, saying in his official capacity as an employee of the state, I will not execute my job, which is to marry people in a civil way or in the civil context. I will not execute that job because you don't have a religious affiliation, because you are not religious. Now, separation of church and state issues aside, people want to talk about, why do atheists always bash on religion? Why do atheists bash on organized religion? What oppression have atheists dealt with of any kind, legal or illegal? This is not a legal question in my mind. The question is this oppression by a religiously affiliated official? And yes, it is. You want to know? You want to know why atheists some atheists have a chip on their shoulder when it comes to organized religion? Shit like this. Because if you dare to question organized religion, whether it be the things it does or the foundation, its very foundation, you are liable to be suppressed or oppressed. And it's happened throughout human history. Throughout human history, atheists have been oppressed. People that question religious dogma have been oppressed. And it's gotten to the point where somebody who believes in a fictitious man in the sky who is paid by the state of fucking Virginia to perform civil unions, to perform that civil duty, says, no, I will not marry you because you don't believe in a fucking invisible man in the sky. You want to know why atheists have a fucking bone to pick? You want to know why some people might be like, hey, man, fuck you and fuck religion? Fuck that. You want to know? This is why. Again, the legal aspect of it, whether this guy should be punished or he's guilty of some criminal discrimination, I don't know. The only issue I can think of, it's a separation of church and state issue. Because otherwise, it's exactly like the cake guy in Colorado. Otherwise, if it was just a pastor and this atheist couple went to them and said, hey, will you officiate our marriage? I mean, you have the license by the state of Virginia. You're not in the system to be court appointed. You're just some guy who has a church. Can we get married in your church? And will you perform the ceremony? The guy says, yeah. And you agree on price and venue and stuff. And then they say, all right, well, what kind of flavor do you want on this one? What kind of English you want to put on this wedding in terms of religion? And they say, well, we're atheist. And the guy who is not state appointed says, no, I don't want to participate in that. This is my church, and I believe in this. I am not going to express myself and perform. I'm not obligated to perform this duty or perform this ceremony because it conflicts with my religious beliefs. And I, being the private owner of this church or through the diocese, whatever, not being under any formal obligation, I say no, because it would offend me personally to do it. And this is an expression, I do this as an expression of my religious beliefs. That would be totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Go find somebody else, you atheist dickholes. Go find somebody else to perform your civil union. Or just go to a fucking courthouse. Who gives a shit? Go have a reception. Go to the courthouse, wear a suit and a nice dress, get the thing signed, and then go get drunk at a fucking country club or something like everybody else. Just go do it. Not a big deal. Again, if this was a completely private matter like it was in Colorado, okay. The only issue I can think of is that this guy was court appointed, so it may be a church and state issue. But from a strict moral sense, just like the Colorado baker is a backwards douchebag because he's got an archaic mindset, this guy obligated by the state to perform non-denominational or any omni-denominational religious ceremonies is an oppressive religious figure who's oppressing this atheist couple, oppressing their ability, their right to be married. Fuck you. This is why people have a bone to pick with religion. This is why. And similar, there was a story about a woman who after hearing, I don't think it was Genesis. I don't think it was it may have been Genesis. After hearing a sermon on some book in the Bible, I don't think it was Deuteronomy or Leviticus. I think it might have been Genesis. Anyway, this lady, after hearing a sermon on this book in the Bible, went home and killed her toddler, supposedly as part of the sermon. But I am an atheist, and I do take some subtle joy in shaming the church, shaming the institution of organized religion, because it's done so much bad to people over so long and continues to be a black mark on society, at least on the growth of society. While I do that, we talked about Elliot Rodger and how people want to make Elliot Rodger's killing spree an issue of something that it's not. We want to make this a women's lib issue. We want to make this how women are viewed or portrayed in societal issue or society issue. We want to make that our issue. And I always said, no, you're just hijacking this so you can talk about bullshit that interests you. Let's talk about why this guy was so fucked up. Why is he so crazy? And finally, some actual learned people on the subject have come out and said, no, this is not an issue of Elliot Rodger being a misogynist. This is an issue of him being a fucking psychopath, a sociopath, a narcissist who totally lacks empathy. He's a narcissistic sociopath. This is why he's doing this. We need to talk about that issue. And there's maybe some people who want to point and laugh at religion, say, ha, your fictitious book makes people kill babies. But no, this isn't a time to point out the silliness that organized religion spews out from time to time. This is not a time to talk about that. This is a time to talk about why this woman was so crazy that a passage from some book would make her go kill a child, more specifically her own child. Let's talk about that. I don't care what passage it was. I don't care what church it was from. That is not the issue. The issue is not, this passage from Genesis. I'm picking Genesis. It may be wrong. This passage from Genesis makes them kill their babies. Ha ha, let's all laugh at religion. No. This is not a religious issue. This is an issue of a crazy person who, when exposed to some religious catalyst, but I'm assuming that there would be any kind of catalyst, it didn't need to be religious, it just happened to be religious, this person went off and did something crazy. Something heinous, some heinous crime. And it's not a religious issue. It was not the fault of religion. This lady killing her baby was not the fault of her pastor, not the fault of the church, not the fault of organized religion at all. It was the fault of her being a fucking psychopath and having some serious, probably serious deep-seated issues that when exposed or when turned on for whatever reason, she went and did something completely insane. Doesn't make any sense. Issue identification is something I talk about a lot. And, I do get some flack from people that think I like to take pot shots whenever I can at religion. And while that's kind of true, I do like poking sometimes at religion in an effort to both, just highlight the absurdity of religion, but also the absurdity of religious people who will go to crazy lengths to be outraged about people talking about their religion. While I may do that from time to time, there is a point where we're talking issues here, and I'm not going to, this isn't a time to take a shot at religion. This is a time to talk about crazy people. This is a time to talk about why aren't these people being helped in some way? Why are open admission or even oh gosh, what's the term? 72-hour, that's like against your will or something. Anyway, admission into mental health facilities. Why are free, there's free clinics all over the joint. Free clinics all over the place in America for the poor and underprivileged who simply cannot afford better health. I mean, you're probably not getting a very good level of health care, but you're getting some health care. There are free clinics or clinics where you can go and pay a flat fee to have a doctor check up on you. That exists in America for physiological health. However, there's not necessarily, at least I haven't found it, a place or a system in America for psychological health like that. There's not an open clinic to go talk about your problems. There's not, it could be fucking group therapy, something. 72-hour commit. Commission, being committed. Involuntary commit. Bam! There it is. Click. I love when the brain does that. But there's nothing really like that in America. I don't know if it's different elsewhere, but I think it's a big issue because a lot of these people, Elliot Rodger certainly could have afforded, his parents certainly could have afforded the biggest and best in psychological health maintenance, right? Psychological health care for him, he was in seeing psychiatrists, all this stuff. But this lady who heard this whatever verse from the Bible and went crazy and murdered her child, probably couldn't afford to go see a psychiatrist. Probably couldn't afford, even if she was aware of an issue, probably couldn't afford to go see a psychologist or a social worker or anything like that. And even programs that certain cities or states have set up are continually underfunded because fuck the crazy people, right? Fuck them. That's what they think. Fuck them, whatever. They're crazy people. Fuck them anyway. What are they going to do? Well, what are they going to do? They're going to do shit like this. When your mental health facilities are so underfunded and so grisly and so ghastly that people are very afraid to tell their loved ones to go there or even commit their loved ones to that, you're going to have these crazy people unleashed on society, and they're going to do crazy shit like this. It's not a gun issue. It's not a misogyny issue. It's not a religious issue. It's not any of that. It's an issue of these people need help, and I don't think there are enough places for them to get help. Bums. I was talking about bums, and people were upset about, my talk about the difference between homeless. And I say, no, not homeless. They're bums. They're bums. Now, the issue was, the reason I say bums over homeless is that homeless is a nice word. It's one of those nice words that we've created in society to not actually get at the core of what we're talking about. It's meant to obfuscate instead of actually cut through the bullshit and communicate a meaning. Pre-owned instead of used, right? Pre-owned. What is it? When you get a used car, that's not as good of a car as new. That's just the way it is. Oh, geez, something just played. And this thing's done, Monroe News. Fuck, I'm going to close out all the goddamn things here. You know what? If you've got videos playing on your fucking website and they can just start playing, I'm not opposed to video advertisements on stuff. Don't get it twisted, okay? Because I make my living on video advertisements. I'm not opposed to that. But auto-playing when I pause it or replaying after the advertisement has played is unfucking acceptable. Okay? Future webmasters of the world, if you want people to stop being so hostile towards advertisements, which is what drives them to ad block, shit like this can't happen. I'm sure people would watch pre-roll ads. I'm sure they would. But when they will replay without warning, when they will completely refresh the page to reload and start playing again, or to load another banner, that is what drives people to ad block. It's not that the ads are there in the first place. It's that some kind of shoddy coding or some kind of shoddy system creates aberrant issues like that, where shit just starts playing and you can't find it. You don't know where it is. It's fucking 3 scrolls down the page. Thank God Google has a neat little feature where if you've got multiple tabs open and one of them is playing sound, a little speaker pops up and shows you which tab it is. So at least you know which tab. So I don't think it's an issue of people disliking advertisements per se. I think it's an issue of people not liking ads that do crazy shit like that. And to completely rid themselves of even that risk, they run to ad block and then cut out the heart of many websites and businesses. So if you want to not push people towards ad block or push people towards all this kind of stuff, tighten up the coding. Tighten up how the page loads so that, I don't know, like any local CBS affiliate website, the page doesn't fucking reload to run a different advertisement. It's unacceptable. Anyway, got to get it under control. Anyway, what was I talking about? Bums. The word homeless is right up there with pre-owned, or pick any number of words. Watch a George Carlin bit. He does plenty of stuff like this. And it's funny, but it's funny because it's so fucking true. You realize, holy shit. Now, shell shock, right? Shell shock became battle fatigue. And now it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Shell shock cut through the bullshit. You're fucked up because of crazy shit that happened in war. Then it became battle fatigue. Well, what the fuck is battle fatigue? Then it became post-traumatic stress disorder. What the fuck does that mean? Shell shock. Shock. The word shock. Oh, crap. Something's messed up in there. Battle fatigue. Huh? Post-traumatic stress disorder. What? Similarly, homeless. There's nothing wrong. That person is just without a home. They just don't have a home. No, they're a fucking bum. Because when you obscure the bad things, when you start renaming people, when you start renaming things to hide the negativity, you implicitly make it more and more acceptable. Oh, you're just homeless. No. There should not be an acceptable level of homeless. If you are homeless, you should know, oh shit, I don't want to fucking be this. Nobody should think it's it's right or okay. Not, I don't mean that they're a bad person, but they should try to not be a bum or homeless. But when you start to confuse meaning, when you start to say, well, it's not really as bad, shell shock or used car, used, oh shit, all right, whoa, son of a bitch. All right, so I know I'm going to get fucked here, probably more than I was buying new. No. It's certified pre-owned. It's just certified pre-owned. Oh, certified. Did you certify the fucking scratches on the trunk of the car and the chunks missing from the rear bumper? Is that all certified on your certified pre-owned? No, it's a fucking used car. It's got dings and scratches all over it. It's got, 30, 40,000 fucking miles on it, and it's overpriced to shit. That's what it is. It's a fucking used car. It's not pre-owned. And the same thing would happen with bum and homeless. Homeless people try not to be homeless. I get that. And that makes them not bums. But just from the outside looking in, the idea of being a bum or a homeless or a hobo or whatever you want to call it, that should not be, that should be a bad thing. We should all look at that and say, oh man, that's a bad thing. That's a bad, tortured existence. And I should feel sorry for those people. That position is in no way envious, and in no way should anyone be forced to live that life. But when you hide the meaning, when you blur the meaning, when you blur the negativity or soften the edge, you think, or people tend to think subconsciously, it's not that bad. Not that bad, I guess. Homeless. You're just without a home. That's really the only issue. You got a home, you're not homeless anymore. It's easy. No, you're a bum. And being a bum is bad. And it's a tortured existence. And I feel sorry. And I have no problem, states outlawing sharing food with the homeless. Go fuck yourselves. Help these people. Help them. Help bums. Flop houses. State-funded flop houses and mental health facilities all over the joint to help these people. Help them because they are not in a good position. They need help. They need it. But when you say homeless as opposed to bum, everybody else said, well, why do I need to help the homeless? It's not that bad. It's, you're homeless. No, we need to help bums because it's a tortured existence and it's an awful place for people to be and they're trying to get out of it, but it's a vicious fucking cycle being a bum and they need help. We need to help them. You do not want to be a bum. Nobody wants to be a bum because it's bad. That's why the word is bad. You don't want to be a bum. They don't want to be bums. We need to help them out. So it's not an issue of, oh, they're lesser people than me, as some people, of course, like to spin it like that. And if you have no interest in the explanation, well, then just fuck you because you're just looking for reasons to be upset about things. You probably are one of those people who make a living at being upset or who will in coming years make a living at being upset. But it's when you start talking about, there's a new study out, as silly as it fucking sounds, apparently a study out of the University of Illinois along with the University of Arizona, people tend to not evacuate as quickly when hurricanes with female names or effeminate names are approaching. They are less likely. Now, I don't know how all the variables adjusted for. I don't know how the study was performed in that way. But it's to the point where just even looking at the correlation, for some reason, it at least looks as though when something has an effeminate sounding name, a fucking hurricane or a tropical storm, people tend to just be, it's not that bad. It's not going to be that bad. But when it has a male sounding name, apparently they get the fuck out. More people die for whatever reason, but the first level reaction is what they're going on at this point, although it could totally be wrong. They could be not accounting for all variables, or correlation is not causation. They could just look at correlation and say, oh, that's causation. But as we all know, or hopefully will know, correlation is not necessarily causation. So more people die when a hurricane has a feminine sounding name. Why? Well, it could be many things, one of which might be a subconscious, oh, it's just, it's just Hurricane Sue. It's little Sue. It's Sue. Yeah, she's cute and nice, and she gets angry once in a while, and that's not a nice time to deal with. But I'll be fine. It's okay. Charlie is coming. Oh shit, man! Fucking Charlie! Did you guys hear? Charlie's coming to get us. It's fucking Charlie. We gotta fucking go. It's fucking Charlie. Fucking Charlie's coming. Let's get the fuck out of here. Now, again, is that the conscious thought of people? No, of course not. But is there something to subconsciously, if we hear something that isn't overtly negative or does not clearly demonstrate or clearly communicate negative connotation, we might be more accepting of it or more willing to let it continue and let it transpire. Homelessness isn't really a problem. They're just homeless. They'll get homes eventually. No, they're bums. It's a fucking awful thing to be. They are living awful lives. We should probably help them out a little bit. That's my point. It's not an elitist issue of, oh, you're a lesser person than me. You're just simply a bum. I, on the other hand, am a person. No. Cut through the bullshit. Communicate meaning. Living whatever, homeless bum, you don't want to use the word bum, but hoboism, what the fuck ever, transience, whatever, is a bad thing. And bum, personally, I think, communicates the badness of that state of being effectively. Bum. Oh shit, I don't want to be a bum. That's bad. And I know that because I don't want to be a fucking bum, somebody that I think is a bum is probably hurting pretty bad. Oh shit, maybe we should help them. But again, when you start obfuscating, you confuse meaning, and people get confused, and people are more likely to think, oh, it's not really that bad. They're just homeless. Just like apparently the study says on some level, people think, oh, the storm isn't going to be that bad. It's just named Nancy. Nancy. What is Nancy going to do? All right, let's bring it home. Woo! Another successful Lefty show, even though it's a little bit later in the day. Thank you all for joining. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I had a great time putting it on. Put it on! I had a great time putting it on for you. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you to everybody for watching, liking, favoriting, and subscribing on YouTube, helping my channel and the podcast itself grow. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for donating. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. You want to help out the show, right? Of course you do. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. There's a link in the description. Click on it right now. All generous donations, greatly appreciated and accepted. Thank you all very much for donating, helping the show grow. Thank you to everybody for sharing the show with your friends, family, and coworkers. Great way to help out the show grow, or help the show grow. Help out the show by getting it to grow. Thank you all for joining. I will catch you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining. That's my time. I got to get out of here. I'm out. Bye.
He's got AIDS.